all of us, we all have a content footprint, regardless of your number of followers. Okay, you're leaving a content footprint, and that affects the people around you. That affects every viewer that sees it.
Welcome to On the Rise by Fresh Business Thinking. In this interview series, we speak to exciting entrepreneurs we predict to be the next generation of household names. Today I'm talking to Morteza, founder of House of Influence, the world's first and only social media magazine and channel uncovering the funny and the fabulous stories hidden within the expanding world of social media. My name's Chardonnay, and this is On the Rise.
Hi, my name's Morteza. I'm founder of House of Influence. I spent the last almost 18 years working for some of the leading creative and brand consultancies, creative agencies, brand consultancies. We were watching these huge budgets being cut from your traditional platforms to more digital, and then digital turned far more social and influencer marketing. We got the latest technology, for insights. We got the best influencers. We partnered with the agencies, and it was through doing all of this which we soon realized that there's got to be more to this. There can't be just, there's your social media platform. Let's figure out your engagement. Let's figure out your reach, and let's work with you. There's got to be more to it. And also just the proliferation of influencers. They are the new icons. They are the new celebrities. This is what we keep being told. Why is it that they're not getting the same media opportunities? Why are they not getting articles? Why are they not getting features? Why are they not on TV shows? Why are they not on, game shows? They have far more engagement than the celebrities now. Far more power and a lot more recognition. So why are they not getting those opportunities? So that was how House of Influence, the magazine, HoyMag, was born. So as the world's first social media and influencer magazine. So we, the same way as Hello Magazine would cover celeb gossip and articles and features around those things, we do exactly the same thing for influencers. We go out there and we find incredible stories in social media and incredible stories within influencers. And I thought, and we thought as a team, that this would be a fun and interesting project, but it's even more fascinating when you discover the stories behind the Insta accounts. 20-something-year-olds who have conquered social media and are rolling around in the new house that they've just bought, and all through their account, their Insta account. The story behind that, it's just amazing. So that was one opportunity that we saw, why is there not a magazine, a publisher for these people and social media? What we're finding, the more we work with influencers, is that we find technologies and platforms are very much geared to support brands, which is great. That's fantastic. Brands need to know how to make their campaigns more efficient so they can more effectively reach their target audience. But again, we want to also look at what do the influencers need to be able to do what they do well. So currently what they do is they try to give a value to a post or to a story on a platform which wasn't designed to sell advertising space. They're force-fitting for it to be used that way. In the team, the way we look at it is like, if I gave you a Snicker bar to share, you would have to go and cut it, and to share it, you'd have to cut it. You'd have to proactively go and do something to be able to share it or to sell it. Whereas if I gave you a box of Maltesers, they are innately shareable, right? They even says it on their, on the pack, it's shareable. So you don't have to do anything. It's already done. You share it. It becomes easier for you to use. So we began looking at, what do the influencers and the brands and the followers, the fans, what do they need to make this far more transparent and viable for this new generation of career influencers? I need a defined inventory of ad space, right? I know that this is the space that I can sell within my content. And people know that this space is an ad space. Yeah. So what we decided to do is build a platform for influencers which provide them with that inventory in their profile. So very much like a magazine. A magazine already has a double page spread space for an advert. We know that's an advert. You have a half a space, and then at the end you have the classified area with the little ads at the end. These are defined spaces for ads. We know they are. And so that's what a magazine goes and sells. Mm-hmm. So the same way now, career influencers who are genuinely, doing an incredible job to make money and a career from what they're doing, then they're able to actually have clarity on, this is my inventory, this is what I have to offer.
I think that's great. And I love the analogy of the Snickers bar versus Malteser. How many influencers do you have on your books? And if you wanted to name some of them, where'd you get them from? Are they influencers that we know from TV, from magazines, or are these just social media, IG influencers? Yeah. Basically, what's your catalog like?
Yeah. We have the influencers which we go and select and invite onto the platform, who are what we call GI creators. They are good influence creators, positive impact influencers. We have ones which we work with, as in the ones that we do production pieces, co-create with, we do editorial with, who join us in co-creating content. The ones that join us are roughly around 500. The GIs are far less, which is, we handpick them. You really have to be making waves. That's around 50 currently. And bear in mind, we've been launched not long, about 4 months. Early days yet.
How are you finding the launch? Anyway, I was going to ask you if the pandemic affected your launch, or if it didn't, or how's COVID affecting the business in general?
It helped us. It gave us a little bit of a boost, in fact, in our uplift of uptake of content and engagement. And so we leveraged that. We decided to create new products like the Zoom Room, the House of Influence Zoom Room. So that allowed us to do things like this with influencers and hear their stories in this format. But it also then gave us the ability to talk to an influencer in Seattle and get them as well. So it opened new doors.
The pandemic, kind of worked in your favor. Have you found that you've had any other hurdles, launching, becoming a new business, any other things you wish in the beginning, I wish I'd known this?
Recruitment. How do we make sure that we're working with the best talent? How do we make sure we're using the most up-to-date technology? How do we make sure that the technology we're working on right now is not going to be redundant by the time we're finished with it? The hardest thing is always, you're as good as your team. So if we've got the right people on board, which we've been so lucky to have, we've done okay.
So I wanted to ask you, what makes House of Influence unique?
So the technology in the platform is another unique element. That is that we want to empower both the brands and the influencers to be able to more efficiently work with each other. And what we currently have right now are lots and lots and lots of middlemen. We have technology middlemen, and we have agency middlemen, and we have agent middlemen. And the way I compare it is like this centralized power in the center, that if you guys want to work together, you have to go through us.
Crawling back to a stone.
But there should also be an option of working directly if I don't want to go through anyone. So what we thought we would do on the platform is to try to remove all the middlemen and provide at least an option where influencers can go direct and have autonomy over their commercial products, right? Their services. So we've created what I like to put the Airbnb of influencers and brands. So everything that we do, when you ask me what is it that's unique about the product, we represent good influence.
I know you've only been around for 4 months, but I say the numbers have proven that you guys are doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So would you say that, removing the middleman, giving the power to the influencers and the brands and telling those stories and caring about that, do you think that's all?
That's it.
What makes
that's the best summary. You just you just did what I took 20 minutes doing, 10 seconds. But I think what's already being done is being done very well. I think, the technology insights platforms which are out there are incredible. I think it's, it takes quite a lot to compete with that. And I've always been of the philosophy that the best way to compete is not to compete. You just find a space of your own. And I think this is a space which the market is calling for.
So my last question for you is, where do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, we see 5 years. Wow, a lot can happen in 5 years. I definitely want everyone and everything that is associated with House of Influence to be absolutely synonymous with positive social impact. The GI logo, the Good Influence logo, awarded recommended logo, to be even more recognizable than the blue tick. The future is not just about engagement, and the success of influencers in the future and brands who support those influencers, I think in the future will be rooted in accountability. We now need to realize that we have a content footprint. All of us, we all have a content footprint, regardless of your number of followers, okay? You are leaving a content footprint, and that affects the people around you. That affects every viewer that sees it.
Well, I want to thank you so much for spending your time this evening and talking to me. Is there anything else you want to talk about your brands, get it out there? Any place we can find you, follow you on?
Yeah, so wearehoy, HOI.com is our website. It's the magazine. And at wearehoy is the Instagram.
After today, I'm going to be way more conscious.
People are looking. Conscious content creators, see?